Hey everybody, how are you? What's going on? Yeah. Hey friends, what's going on? Okay, let me fix this real quick. Hey everyone. Okay, you guys. Let's see. Okay. Well, thank you, Alicia. Thank you, hun. Mocha, hey boo. Mocha got here first. Hey Mocha. Mocha tapped in first. Hold on. Okay. I was trying to get my pictures and stuff together. Y'all, I was so you guys, if you were around over the weekend, you guys know I'm not going to really get all into it cuz I feel like I've talked about it so many times. It made me tired, but baby, I had a wonderful weekend, but it just didn't end amazing and I was so mentally tired. Um And then I'm prepping for something else too, and oh my god, this is just I thought this summer was gonna be nice and chill, but, I mean, hey, there's always hope. But being busy is a blessing, okay? It's been a blessing, so and we've been having a good time, but sis was tired. Um, Chick with the goodies, okay? With Chick with the goodies. Okay, Chick with the goodies, okay. Hey, how are you? Hi, Keonce. Hey, bossy. What's going on? Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, what's going on? Bossy, Miss T, Natasha, what's going on? Okay, guys, I figured we would get a little bit caught up. If you're in members, some of these things you may have already heard if you're up on all the members' lives, but we got to get into it. Um, so last week on was it Thursday? No, last week Friday. Thursday there was no court. Friday is when the mistrial happened. The hung jury at Kiana. It feels like it's just old news now, but it was just Friday. But Friday is when it happened, and Friday I was in the air and going to meet my sister in DC. And I may or may not have even told you guys that. I know I shared it in members, but everyone may not. I may not have told everyone in our collective, but yeah, I went to DC to go and meet up with my sister. My nephew is in an orchestra and they had a concert in DC and it was really nice. It was beautiful. And I had such a nice time. But then Saturday, when I was traveling back, there was bad weather and I ended up getting series of cancellations and I didn't end up flying out until Sunday. So by the time my husband got to me because he had to come pick me up 100 miles away from our place, I had to fly into a different airport and I just was mentally exhausted. So I've been kind of recovering ever since, just been doing a little bit here and there, but I just, it took me a little minute. Your girl is used to being close to home, so it kind of took me out a little bit. Anyway, Verna, hey boo, how are you? Nesto's handy girl. Yes, Alicia, thank you for the gems. Simply Sonya's sparkly hands. Okay. Diva, what's going on? Scorpio, Old Man Johnson's farm. Okay, everybody. Okay, so a couple of things really quick. I hope that this translated over. Glad you came live because I was sitting here reading about Shiloh Hendricks' trial and getting heated. Now, that name sounds familiar. You guys sent me a bunch of stuff this weekend. The thing that took me out yesterday, whoever sent me the East St. Louis, Illinois situation with the teenagers, with the little girl who killed her whole entire damn family, baby, that took me out. I fell down the rabbit hole on that. Jameer, what's his last name? Jameer Davis, baby. I was all up in his file today trying to get trying to get the criminal complaint because I wanted to really get some more information on that. I was like, well, damn. Now, Shiloh Hendricks, I feel like that name sounds so familiar, but Shiloh Hendricks. You guys have been keeping me up. Let me see. Shiloh Hendricks. Oh God. Is that what we're doing? Rochester racial slur video incident. Who did that? And what, did someone beat her ass or something? Trial starts for Shiloh Hendricks over Rochester racial slur. Oy, oy, oy. Oh, let me just read the People magazine. That'll be easy. Hold on. Hold on a second, y'all. Had anyone heard about this? Let me see. Miss T, hey boo boo, thank you, honey, for 30 months. My God. I was missed. Thank you guys. Thank you. You guys were missed too. Okay. You guys were most definitely missed. I was missing y'all. I love talking to you guys every single day. Um, I needed a little mental break. Sis was in a bad way. First of all, I was low key homesick. You know what I mean? Like I was ready to get home. I'm not scared to fly in the least, but when shit goes wrong. I'm just a firm believer in that. So I was prayerful and hopeful. We had a nice, you know, we had a wonderful crew. I had a good cruise on both flights, trying to get home. The initial first flight to get home, the crew was amazing. I ended up running into the flight attendant who was in my cabin and in the airport, and we laughed for a couple of minutes. I was like, girl, you did your thing, because those damn people on the plane were a mess. She's like, oh my God. She said, well, I can't say too much. I was like, it's not going to go anywhere. And she just said, she said, did you get rebooked? And I was like, not yet. And as I was talking to her, I got the alert that I was rebooked, but when I got rebooked, that ended up getting canceled. I got canceled a couple of times. But anyway, girl, just a mess. But yeah, I was busy keeping up with stories. I was reading my DMs, and you guys were sending me stuff because some of you guys knew I was out of town and some of y'all didn't. Um, I feel like I'd heard about this story though before, the Shiloh Hendricks, but maybe I don't know. The name sounds super familiar. Um, but hold on, let me pull it up. We may as well just read about it. But I guess apparently her trial started. Is that so? Let me see. Hold on. Hendricks has pled not guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct more than a year after the incident. So she called somebody a racial slur. I'm surprised she didn't get bipped in the face. I'm surprised someone didn't handle that business with her. Let's see. Girl. Let's see what's going on here. So we're on People magazine, the trial of Shiloh Hendricks. Woman accused of hurling racial slurs at an 8-year-old boy. She should be ashamed of herself. Okay. Are you watching this on TV? Is it being broadcast? Whoever threw that out? Let me see. Kathy, thank you, boo. Kathy lady, thank you, hun. Let me see. Greetings. My son's flight was canceled from Charlotte to New York City, so he rented a car and drove home. Do you know my husband was going to come and drive to pick me up? He was so upset. Um it was late by the time we really called it, like, I'm not getting out today. You know what I mean? It was kind of too late. and I didn't want them driving. If he would have drove, he would have drove. You know what I'm saying? He would have got Farrah in the car, probably would have took Portia, left Lambo to watch the house, and so on and so forth. But that did not happen, which was fine. I went ahead and got a room and I was good. I was safe. That was the main thing, just to be safe. Cause baby, I wasn't sleeping in no damn airport. No. Love and Evening Live, and I'm actually here for it. Hey, Miss Rose. Is it Miss Rose or Rose? Okay. Ivy, hey boo boo. Okay. Someone asked about Shiloh. Whoever that was, are they broadcasting this on I haven't seen it broadcast anywhere. It's some misdemeanors, but it's probably upsetting because this woman was hurling racial slurs at a child. Bitch, you wouldn't have had your fucking teeth. Okay, Benita Betrayal. Hey boo boo. You didn't hear it from me. Okay, Benita Betrayal. Okay, the trial of Shiloh Hendricks, a Minnesota woman accused of hurling racial slurs at an 8-year-old black boy last year, has begun because she couldn't at an 8. Look, whatever. I don't know. Look, some people, she wouldn't have her teeth left. Some people would just be like, bitch, are you talking to me? Some people would just ignore her. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm just not sure. Hendricks has been charged with 2 counts of disorderly conduct. I mean, if they have this on video, she's done. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that it's not even like you're an adult getting into an argument with another adult. I don't know the set of circumstances, so there's nothing to justify, even if the 8-year-old called you a fucking whore. At the end of the day, it's still an 8-year-old, but we don't know what happened. Okay. The trial for Shiloh Hendricks, a Minnesota woman accused of hurling racial slurs at an 8-year-old black boy last year, has begun. Hendricks has been charged with 2 counts of disorderly conduct more than a year after she appeared to call a child the N-word at the Soldiers Field Memorial Park in Rochester, Minnesota. ABC affiliate KAAL reported. A video of the incident filmed April 25th went viral, and Hendricks has since raised more than $800,000 in donations to support herself and her family on a fundraising page titled "Help Me Protect My Family." A man who recorded the video, later identified as Sharmaki Omar, previously told NBC News that he knows the boy and his family and that the child is on the autism spectrum. In the clip, Omar can be heard confronting Hendricks, who appears to be holding her own child after allegedly using the slur. Hendricks can be heard, "Mind your fucking business," before claiming that the child took my son's stuff. Omar then asks Hendricks if she thinks that warrants calling a child the N-word, to which she replies, "If that's what he's going to act like." In the description of the fundraising page, Hendricks claims that she had a kid steal from her 18-month-old son's diaper bag at a park. "I called the kid out for what he was." Hendricks continued, adding that members of her family were being attacked and her personal information, including her address and phone number, had been leaked. Hendricks was originally charged with 3 counts of disorderly conduct in August last year, but one was dropped during the first in-person court appearance in March, per previously reporting by NBC affiliate KTTC. She has pled not guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges. If found guilty, she faces up to 90 days in jail and $1,000 fine, according to Brainerd Dispatch. Jury selection for Hendricks' trial began Monday, July 20th, which was yesterday, at the Olmsted Courthouse and continued through Tuesday, which is today, due to disagreements between the defense and prosecution over what may be discussed during the trial. Due to disagreements. Okay. Before it began, Hendricks' lawyer, Brian Carlos, said he hadn't yet received a list of the witnesses the state intended to call, with prosecutors explaining they delayed providing the list due to safety concerns. However, they agreed that the defense would be given the names and contact information of intended witnesses. According to KAL, the judge said jurors would be deciding whether the alleged use of the slur towards the child could be considered fighting words. Per the outlet, fighting words are defined as words directed at a person that are likely to provoke them to a violent reaction. Carlos wanted to gauge whether the potential jurors viewed racist speech as criminal, something prosecutors including Rochester City Attorney Michael Spindler Craig, opposed, per KAAL. I cannot think of a more direct question that goes to the heart of this case, Carlos asked, according to the Brainerd Dispatch. Hendricks left the Olmsted Courthouse shortly after 5 p.m. on Monday alongside a number of masked men, according to KTTC. Earlier that day, a handful of protesters congregated outside the courthouse and held signs reading messages including "Shiloh did nothing wrong" and "White Unity," according to the outlet. It is expected that opening statements will be made later on Tuesday after the jury is selected. KAAL reported, however, it is not yet known whether Hendricks will take the stand herself as part of a trial. I'm going to be honest with you. In 2026, I barely even talk to strangers. I'm typically a very friendly person. I don't really talk to, like, I'm not antisocial in the least, but I am not going out of my way to engage with anyone positive, most definitely not negatively. People are fucking crazy today. In 2026, people are crazy. And this trick has raised almost $1 million. People are just throwing money at her in the sum of almost $1 million. You see what social media can do? Can y'all see this? So is this the viral video? Let's see.
Did you call him a child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him a. Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? Okay. All right, that's what you say.
This says a 5-year-old boy was allegedly caught rifling through her bag. Okay. What did he steal? She said he stole something, but he was just going through her bag. So this is the man who filmed the incident, pressing the blonde woman and asked her if digging through your belongings justifies using a racial slur against a child who is autistic.
She was gonna deny it and walk away. When there was a video and she saw that I was recording, she doubled down and even tripled down now.
She's a victim of an attack, claiming online that the viral video has put her family in jeopardy. So her goal was to raise $1 million, and she's raised almost over $800,000. Well, okay, and that's what you're watching, Benita? Okay. I I'm not surprised. Glad you're good, but stories like that keep me flying from flying. It was it gave me it reconfirmed, it doubled down on why, oh, not to say like if we need to go somewhere, we're gonna go. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, um, like when we oftentimes we're picking vacation, we're someplace where we can get to easily, get home easily, things like that. And flying is, so let me tell you really quick. These two women I was online with, very nice. They were going on a cruise. They had to pick up their cruise probably over at in Cocoa Beach at the port. So they call that one Orlando, but basically you drive out to Cocoa Beach and there's a cruise ship terminal out there and it takes right off. If you've ever been to Cocoa Beach, if you're out there just chilling on the beach, you will see like cruise ships taking off like, every 30, I don't want to say every 30 minutes, but they take off throughout the day. If you're just sitting chillaxing, you're going to see several cruise ships take off, right? Um, so they were trying to get down to Orlando. They had a cruise. I don't know what day the cruise was leaving, but it wasn't the following day, but maybe it was Monday. I don't know, but they were trying to get down to, and their flights got canceled. So yeah, it's like, and then of course all the people who had to get adjoining, they had connecting flights. And baby, I was so lucky that the airport that they got me into, because everything direct to Charlotte was sold out, or no, there were no seats, that they got me over to Greenville, and my husband came and picked me up. The sucky part was that he had to drive me straight to the airport back in Charlotte so I could pick up my car. Thank you so much, Miss Piggy Braxton. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, this type of story is aggravating, unfortunately. You know, um, it's really sad that there's people like this out here. And I'm gonna be honest, if you got a kid who, this is the thing, you gotta keep your eye on your kids. And it's not to say that this parent did not keep her eye on her kid, but in today's day and time, they hold you accountable for everything. And you got this type of bitch who wants to push buttons and have you down at the police station for smearing her face in some grass. Okay. It's best to just, if you have a kid that has, that this could be an issue, then you got to keep your eye on things. You know what I mean? Me personally, I know me, and I would just, I don't know. Things happen, so I don't want to seem like I'm not pointing the finger at the parents, but shit happens. But it's best that if you have a child that, everybody's not going to be understanding of your situation. Let me say it like that. So them telling this lady that their kid is on the autism spectrum, if she all of a sudden wants to be justified in using racial slurs and cussing out a little 8-year-old, then that's what she's going to do. You know what I mean? There's not going to be anything that's going to make it make sense. She's going to justify, we're in a world right now where people justify doing the wrong thing. They find some sort of something to make it okay that they did what they did. And that's all. So, in order to not frustrate yourself, it is best to not engage with people you don't know, because like I said, I'm going back to, people are crazy. Okay. People are certified bonkers bananas. And when you fill out a police report and all those things, guess what? Now this person has all your information and you have all theirs. And I don't want her information, and I don't want her to have mine. You know what I mean? I hate to say it, but I don't know. I don't know that I would have I don't blame the person for pressing charges, but this is some crazy shit. And then she's got people donating to her almost $1 million cash. She's happy. She's probably going to start a podcast. She's probably on social media. Hey ladies, how's it going? Okay. We're going to get over here to Kiana in a minute, but let me see if I can pull up this other picture. Oh, so let me pull up this other article really quick. Okay, so you guys know last week, I feel like it was last week early, we saw, was that last week or was it the week before last now? Hold on. Let me see. When we saw Shawn Hoover in court, do you guys recall? Let me see. I feel like, let's see. Gosh, it took forever. I think it was the week before last, towards the end of the week. So if you guys remember, Shawn Hoover asked for an extension. So basically, this is what we now know. They are not giving the extension as far as I know. I've been looking to see if they filed something formal stating that they were going to proceed as planned. But I saw this article. Hold on a sec. Let's make it big. Girl. It says the family members told 11's Chase Hoyle on Wednesday that the trial for Sarah Grace Patrick, the 18-year-old accused of killing her mom and stepdad while they slept, February of 2025, will go ahead as scheduled. So guess what? Hoover's motion, I guess, got denied. And the funny thing is that since Hoover, and I'm speculating here. I'll double check before we sign off, but I think I checked it yesterday, but I'll double check it again. He never filed a formal motion. There's no motion filed for this extension that he requested. So maybe Hightower didn't bother to file a denial. The defense team for Patrick's 16 at the time for killing Kristen and James Brock was in court earlier this week asking for more time to prepare for the case. The trial is scheduled for just a few weeks, August 3rd, after arguments on Monday. Judge Dustin Hightower said he would have an order on the matter by Wednesday. There's nothing posted. Today, July 15th, 11 Alive is working to obtain the exact order. Attorney Shawn Hoover had argued there is new information coming to light in the case that they need time to process and prepare for, asserting that what appeared to be at first small issue they wanted to address snowballed into something bigger. Hoover described it as an issue with forensic evidence in the case and chain of custody. DFCS records and another gun they said had been recently tested by an officer on a hunch. More needs to be done so I can adequately protect Miss Patrick's interests moving forward, Hoover argued. Prosecutors for the state dismissed the last concern, saying we don't have a rogue officer. It was not the firearm that's in this case, and noted that the rules of discovery give them until 10 days before the trial to turn over everything to the defense team. The trial at this article's publishing is 19 days away. Patrick faces 2 counts of malice murder, 2 counts of felony murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, 2 counts of weapons charge. She's accused of shooting her mother, Kristen Brock, and stepfather, James Brock, while they slept. Police said at the time of her arrest that mountains of evidence had led them to charge the teenager. The teenager has had support from some family, friends, and church members who maintain her innocence. At previous hearings, some have attended wearing I Stand for Sarah t-shirts. Her friends contend that prior bond hearings, she just doesn't have this in her and is not the evil person the Brock family is making her out to be. As family friend Carrie Jensen said on the stand, her pastor Ben Broomer described praying with her and talking about what she's reading when speaking with her in jail. James Brock's son has been among those to speak against Patrick receiving bond. Your Honor, I feel like I'm living in a nightmare, said Brock's oldest son, Tristan Brock. James Brock's sister, Kim Bowling, also said on the stand, if the defendant can kill her own parents in such a violent manner, I fear for my own safety and safety of my family and friends. Okay. Okay, so needless to say, let me check on what's it called and see if it's there. Let's see what this...
This season, go back in
Hold
time.
on. Hold on a second. When it passes the commercial, I'll pull it back up.
Murders of her mother and stepfather is scheduled to start next month.
That's right. Family members told 11 Alive that the trial for Sarah Grace Patrick will start weeks from now. The now 18-year-old was 16 at the time of this shooting that happened last.
I suspect that Hoover, if Hoover tries his regular shenanigans that he typically pulls in court, him and Arnold, all of their theatrics, baby, I don't think it's going to go well. They don't want any of that foolishness. Don't bring that foolishness down to Carroll County. I don't think it's going to go
February
well.
In Carroll County, police say that Kristen Brock and James Brock, they were sleeping as they were gunned down. The defense team for Patrick was in the court earlier this week asking for more time to prepare this case. The trial is scheduled for August 3rd.
Yeah. Oh, well. Oh, well. Sean, can we postpone that, Hoover? Okay, so that's pretty much a wrap. Like I said, I was checking the portal and I could not find anything. Let me just double check and see if there's anything. But I was like, well, he doesn't even have his motion posted, so I don't know. I don't know that that's a reason for the judge to not post a written denial, but girl, you know. But the most memorable thing for me was when Judge Hightower just very calmly basically was like, yeah, I'm going to need for you, like, we've had our argument. I gave you an opportunity for you to say everything you wanted to say. And then, like, it's not your turn. It's not your time to, like, filibuster me again. Like, you're not going to talk me to death. That was funny. I'm not shocked. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they got to get this show on the road. This, you know, did they post something? Let's see. Order. Nope. I still don't see it. Hold on. Let's see. Wait a second. There's nothing here. They've got some Rule 22s posted for some of the major news providers, Atlanta Journal-Constitution, WXIA. I think I saw Law and Crime, stuff like that, but I just, nada. Nope. I don't see it posted, so I don't think that went over. Okay. More news. Okay, let me find this really quick. Oh. So Kelli Bryant. Well, I think this happened on Thursday. Let me see. Y'all, Kelli Bryant went ahead and pled guilty. Well, this is what happened. She pled no contest. Let me see if I can pull this up online. I have it in an email. Kelli Bryant pled as charged to first-degree child abuse in child abandonment case, Pontiac, Michigan. Kelli Bryant pled no contest as charged to 3 counts of first-degree child abuse Thursday in the Sixth Circuit Court. Under the terms of her plea agreement, Bryant will serve at least 6 years in prison. Bryant, a 35-year-old Pontiac resident, effectively abandoned her 3 children in squalid apartment without running water or functioning toilets for several years. The children lived alone and did not go outside or attend school. Bryant would periodically drop food at the doorstep. The children were discovered by Oakland County Sheriff's deputies performing a welfare check February 2025. This plea will spare the children from testifying at trial and ensure Bryant remains incarcerated until they are all adults, said Prosecutor McDonald. I'm hopeful the children she victimized will continue to have the space and resources to heal from this abhorrent trauma. Bryant previously pled as charged to 3 counts of welfare fraud in December. Her parental rights were terminated in family court in April. Bryant is scheduled to be sentenced on September 21st in Sixth Circuit Court. Girl, Kelli Bryant is done. We will not be catching that trial. Okay, that trial is a done data. Kelli Bryant went ahead and pled no contest, and she faces up to 6 years, and that's it. That's all on her. Okay, it's like, okay, well, they're just Nesto. I don't know why Nesto hasn't taken his plea deal yet. I mean, at this point, you may as well. This man is a fool. Okay. Now, Kelli pleading no contest, I feel like was a good thing, because at the end of the day, what's the point in going to court, sis? Like, they found the kids alone. You were nowhere to be found. She really didn't have a defense. So she really didn't have any choice but to plead guilty, in my opinion, because damn it, what was she going to do? The kids were alone. The kids were hungry. The kids could barely talk. The kids had not been getting grooming. It was obvious that the situation was what it was. So what would be the point in taking that to court? Because, baby, you're going, you know what I mean? It just, there was no way around that situation. So I feel like it was just a no-brainer. If she would have let that go to court, it would be like, just for what? Do you really want the world to know all the gory details of what you did and didn't do, and how you left those kids, and make all of just have to have the judge put you in jail for 20 years? Because that's probably what it would have been. She probably would have got like 20 years. I think she was facing a life sentence. So she gave up parental rights. She pled guilty to the welfare, and I think they gave her probation for that, but she's facing up to 6 years depending, I guess, on how well she does locked up, and I guess they'll see how that goes, but um I'm not surprised. I mean, I was kind of a little surprised when I saw the email, but because I follow the Oakland prosecutor and they put the press release out. So I was basically just reading my inbox and got the update and was like, okay. It's not like we didn't know that, she was guilty or anything. Let me see. So yeah, that was not necessarily a trial I was looking forward to per se, but if it was going to happen, I would have watched it. But yeah, Kelli Bryant is done. Yeah, it's a very sad situation, and she doesn't get a cookie for sparing the kids testifying. The kids may have wanted an opportunity to be able to speak for themselves. So in a way, as a narc, of course, she wants to keep control over everything. She kept delaying everything, asking for continuances, not showing up to things. And I think she and her lawyer would have drug it out as long as they possibly could. But I think once they arrested her, um, after she was non-compliant with reporting for the test that she asked for, obviously they were done, and I don't blame them. So when they put her in custody, I think she was just like, okay, I guess shenanigans over. Let me see if I can find this picture. Just a second. Oh, is this it? Girl. Y'all. No, that's not her. So the other day, I think I told you guys that I was on the Zoom. I think this was Thursday. I was waiting for the Zoom to start for Passion Mhoon. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of her. But yeah, Kelli Bryant's basically done. We'll see her sentencing in September, but I think they say that the deal was 6 years, so it's not going to really be any surprises there with Kelli. She'll get whatever they agreed to, I guess. That's the deal with her and the prosecutor. So as long as the judge accepts it, then I guess it is what it is. So we'll see when she gets sentenced. But yeah, ma'am's done. No trial there. Hold on a second. I feel like I've got some surprise news. Let me see. I just need to find this picture. Oh, good. My pictures are online. Okay, very good. All right, just all right, let me just do this. You must be at the part where we're talking about Shawn Hoover. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Oh, this is terrible picture, but anyway, Passion Mhoon. So the hoarding scammer, the woman who was over at the job and who embezzled $1.9 million. And of course, during the body cam footage that we all saw, and it's posted here on my channel, it was discovered that she was a hoarder. So Thursday, I was trying to get on the Zoom. I could not get on the Zoom I got on the Zoom and I was released from the Zoom. I never got to hear the sentencing. So Thursday afternoon, I think it was. Thursday afternoon, I called the DeKalb, Illinois District Attorney's Office and I spoke with a Mr. Brock. And he basically told me that Passion was sentenced and the judge sentenced her to 25 years, guys. 25 years. And I was like, she did steal almost $2 million from a company. I mean, she did go all out. She did that. $1.9 million is a hefty sum. So now one of you guys, when we talked about it in members, asked me what was her restitution. And I have to look it up and see if I can find it. I didn't even ask about restitution. I was so floored that they actually gave her 25 years because honestly, we see so many different sentences across the board where it's absolutely ridiculous. Sometimes we see something that makes sense. A lot of times we see stuff that doesn't make sense. Probation. We see all kinds of weird shit going on. And at the end of the day, I was absolutely floored that she got 25 years. Now, let me explain. I don't know if this is all of Illinois or how this actually is this just how you do time in Illinois? But basically, DA Brock told me that it's 25 years and it's going to be to serve at 50%. So she has really up to 25 years, but if with, he said, providing she behaves and all of the things, it could be in the neighborhood of 12 and a half years, but it could be as much as up to 25 years because, they're at this 50% thing. And if she has issues, then she could end up spending almost 20, she could spend as much as 25 years, which I was shocked. But then, I think when you put it in perspective, she stole a lot of money. And I don't even know if she has means to pay back that type of money. And after she gets out of jail, damn 12 and a half years from now, because she's well into her 30s, she's going to be almost 50 years old. And the potential for this woman to make that type of money, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if that's going to happen for her. That's a lot of money that she's going to have to pay back. Let me see. Yeah. I have to pull up her mugshot. I don't have it on this computer. But yeah, 25 years for stealing money and 6 years. Well, almost $2 million, $1.9 million. Well, look, that's so 2 different states. You've got Illinois versus Michigan. Okay. So 2 different states, 2 different jurisdictions. Yeah. Well, and also keep in mind trial versus plea deal. So we can't really compare and contrast 2 different crimes. One is scamming, one is actual, I mean, she did fraud the state by stealing welfare benefits and not portioning them out for the children. And obviously child abandonment is awful. Period. You can't really, to me, you kind of can't compare child abandonment and stealing. Obviously, child abandonment should take precedence, but it's 2 different states and 2 different judges and 2 different all the things. So, but yeah, Passion made them take her to trial. Kelli went ahead and pled no contest. So, Passion had a 1-week trial and cost the state money and time and all the things. And Kelli said, let me just go ahead and take my L. Hello, family. Changed my screen name, but still here in the bushes. Okay. Well, we don't know who you are, but thank you for letting us know that you changed your name. I mean, definitely it says that you've been here for 27 months, but as far as who, you know, it does. We still love you. You don't have to tell us if you don't want to. Don't worry about it. No mama. Hey, boo boo. Thank you. Thank you, hun. Fran, do you know if the company she stole from is still in business? And they are. Yes. Coal Pallet. Yes. They are still in business. Can you believe that? A small business losing almost $2 million and still doing good, then, then they were doing even better, right? But yeah, ma'am, I'll have to share with you her mugshot. Her mugshot is quite disturbing, and I kind of felt bad sharing her mugshot because her mugshot is a fool. I was kind of waiting so that we could get her Illinois Department of Corrections thumbnail, her girl thumbnail, mugshot. Let me see if they got her already. Is she in custody yet? Let's see. You know who I could have not been able to find in the Department of Corrections yet? Now I said it. I can't think of her name. Hold on. Latasha Daniels. I have not been able to find her in the Tennessee Department of Corrections, but I'll look her up in a minute. Individual in custody search. I wonder if they've put her in custody yet. Last name Moon. Let's see. Not yet. We'll have to check back like in a week or two, see if they have her in there. But no, she's not in there yet. She just got sentenced Thursday. 25 years. I mean, it's fine with me. I'm not outraged or anything by it. I was like, well, damn. Yeah. You know what? I think also to your point, the person who said, 25 years versus 6 years. I mean, it's not fair to the kids. The 6 years, I think Kelli should have gotten at least 10 years, right? But she's going to be a felon at the end of the day, so yeah, 6 years is the deal. So, Passion, so let's keep it straight. Kelli took a plea deal and she pled no contest and got 6 years. She's expected to get 6 years in September. So we'll have confirmation of that once she is sentenced in September. Passion Mhoon was found guilty by a jury after a 1-week trial, which was not televised. She was found guilty, and Thursday she was sentenced to 25 years by the judge. I would think we can, but I bet you he's not going to talk until after she's in custody. But I will. Wooten, if you are out here, if you're out here, let us know. We want to talk Kayla Brown case with you. I would imagine he probably, once they get her in custody, probably we can get a recap on the case and the shenanigans that ensued, you know? Yeah. 25 years for Passion Mhoon, who stole 1.9 million. And I mean, there wasn't a lot of coverage. I think most of the coverage of this case was the body cam video. The body cam video was the body cam video was what it was. At the end of the day, I think everybody was like, well, damn, look what is going on in that house. But yeah, the $1.9 million, I would have fell out just for the 25 years. Now, the fact that they serve it at 50% in Illinois, so it's really 12 and a half years per se. But I mean, it could be 25 years. Like, let's make no mistake. If she goes in there and fucks up and starts fighting or breaking the rules and not following the rules and not running a good program for herself while she's in there, she could spend 25 years. So it's possible she could do 25 years, but good behavior and following program, she can be out in 12 and a half years. She'll be eligible to be out in 12 and a half. Okay. I mean, look, you can have, so like they were saying, she was buying designer and jewelry and all of those things. Hopefully she knows it is not a flex to be stealing people's money. It is much more of a flex to be able to earn and spend your money accordingly, however you see fit to do it. Spending other people's money that you got through scamming is not cute. Okay. It's just not. It's not cute. I don't have it. I don't have it. I sent a request for the final documents and I haven't gotten it yet. Maybe I'll have it by tomorrow. So I got a verbal. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can play it for you guys. No, I didn't even when I spoke to Mr. Brock, I was just floored. I think I said that if you're just now coming in, I stated that I spoke to someone at the district attorney's office, a DA Brock. And so he was the DA that was on her case. And he stated that it was 25 years. And I was just kind of floored. At that moment, I didn't even think to ask about her restitution. And this is my point. I don't know that she's going to be able to pay a restitution. She's going to be a felon. I mean, I'm sure it would be nice to give her a restitution, but what can she really pay? Now, the feds would give her restitution all day, every day, and they wouldn't care, right? But at the end of the day, by the time she gets out of jail and with her felony background and the type of felonies that she is accused of, she's not going to make that type of money. Unless she lucks up on something, she's not going to be able to make, I don't think, anywhere close to pay those people back. Let's see. All right, let me. Hopefully you guys can hear this. A social media reporter, and I've been following the Passion Mhoon case, and I was hoping to maybe get any information of the outcome of her sentencing.
We can do that. That's no problem.
Oh, thank you so much.
So yeah, the sentencing was this morning. She previously been found guilty on all counts by the jury.
Yes.
So ultimately the judge sentenced her. Oh, the counts merge, so there's only one count. They ultimately merged into the theft Class X felony, which so the range on the Class X felony is 6 to 30 years. The judge gave her 25.
25 years. Wow. Okay. So it's closer to the top of the range.
Yeah. Towards the top of the range. It is served at 50%.
Okay.
Meaning she'll get, assuming she behaves, she'll serve 12 and a half, approximately 12 and a half.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking my call. I know it's like right at 5 o'clock. I was trying to get on the online portal, and I got some information that the sentencing happened, but not the detail. So I appreciate you taking my call so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. Take care, sir. Have a good day.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, bye-bye. 25 years. 25 years, served at 50%. When I find out what the restitution, the full breakdown, I'll let you guys know. I don't have it. That's what I have. I had to call and get a verbal because, baby, I could not stand, and nobody's really, what I'm saying? Like, it's not major news. It's one of these little niche stories. Like I said, I think the major news in this was seeing that she was a hoarder. She stole and she hoarded. But girl, at the end of the day, scamming has been so rampant. It's almost not even news anymore. Did you see the news press release on Malcolm Jamal Warner's wife? I saw that there was something about it. If you tell me that there was some wrongdoing, I'm not going to be surprised. So, let me see. What happened? Did she kill him? Let me see. 5 hours ago. What to know about Malcolm Jamal Warner's wife? Girl, my God. What'd she do? Oh, hold on. Let's see. Is she over here acting a fool? Girl, People Magazine will tell it all. Hold on. People Magazine is going to tell us what we need to know. Malcolm Jamal Warner, who died July 20th, had been married to Tanisha Warner since 2017. The couple stayed out of the spotlight and raised their one daughter. Tanisha filed a lawsuit against Malcolm Jamal Warner's mother over alleged unpaid debts 1 year after his death. Okay, so what's going on here? Malcolm Jamal Warner was a beloved husband and father until his death. The Cosby Show actor had been married to Tanisha in 2017. Let me see what you guys are saying. What happened? What's going on with the wife? No, she is suing. Okay, that's what People Magazine is saying. Hold on. Girl, I thought you guys were going to tell me that she offed him or something. I was getting ready to get nervous. What'd she do? Okay. So she's suing his mother. Why? Cosby Show actor has been married. Okay, welcome the daughter. July 20th, 2025, Malcolm tragically died after drowning while swimming on a family vacation in Costa Rica. He was 54. A few months later, Tanisha revealed her family identity when she launched the Warner Family Foundation in her late husband's name. Prior to his death, Malcolm Jamal gushed that his wife was his soulmate. We've been together almost 10 years and we've never had a fight, an argument, a raised voice or harsh word. No harsh words said to one another. And it's not like we agree on everything, he said during May 2025 appearance on Hot and Bothered podcast. I think because we met later in life, we've just always been at a point where we have a way of communicating like adults. 1 year after the death, the widow filed a lawsuit against his mother, Pamela Warner, over allegations that her mother-in-law owes her more than $1.2 million from Malcolm's life insurance obligations and other unpaid debts. Here's everything we know about Malcolm Jamal Warner's wife, Tanisha. Okay, so I wonder what the basis of the lawsuit is. Well, unpaid debts. He kept his family private. Uh 2 months after Malcolm's death, Tanisha shared her name and identity as Malcolm Jamal Warner's wife. So what does she have, his Instagram page? Okay. Okay. So his mother hasn't paid off some of his debts from an insurance policy that she had. Okay. What are y'all's opinions on that? Do you guys feel like she's doing unpaid prenup promises? So mom had the insurance policy. She didn't have a policy in her name. Like, what's the problem? So he was supposed to, was there a death benefit that she was supposed to get from his insurance policy paid by mom? Or she feels like she got some money from Malcolm Jamal Warner's, from the policy he gave her or whatever, however she came in with this policy. Girl, I don't know. I guess I would need to know more information about it, because if it's a policy he bought for his mother, why is she obligated to pay it? I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about it. Why she would be obligated to pay that unless that was something that he asked her to do. Like he put a policy in her name and said, take care of the girls for me when when and if. Okay. Thank you, Noko Mama. Thank you for the coins, honey. Thank you, babe. Thank you for 10 months too. I appreciate that. Had a list of financial obligations he was supposed to establish and didn't. Oh, well, why is that his mother's? Was she his manager or something? What's up, Sasha's for Cyril? Was he, I mean, a man of 54, mom is not obligated to pay your bills. Was she his financial manager? Did she have any sort of fiduciary responsibility? Thank you, boo boo. I appreciate you, hun. Thank you, only me. Let me let that go a couple times. Thank you for all the coins dropped. I totally set my mind to drop points. Thank you, guys. Okay. I don't know that mom is obligated to pay your bills if you didn't, you know, she's not next of kin. Is she executor of the will? Was she supposed to dole out money from that policy? Oh, okay. So allegedly she gets a stipend and other things. I would have to read the document to understand. I don't know enough about what's going on. Um, so yeah, I mean, okay. Okay. Somebody in the comments over here says things began to shift after a few months of seeing each other casually. We know what that means, especially when he was shacking with Regina King and her son when his future wife got pregnant. Ooh. I sincerely hope that her son wasn't traumatized by this. RIP. Wow, because yeah. Baby, leave it to the comments. The comments always come through in a clutch with some extra TT, okay? Baby. So sis was a secret even in marriage. She stayed in the bushes. Maybe he didn't want people doing the math about like didn't you break up with Regina? Like how old is your daughter? Maybe he was concerned about people doing those math problems. Now, did you guys watch the rest of Kiana Davis that day and see when the mistrial happened? Girl, the bongos, yes. Forget about that. I loved him and Regina together. They were a very nice couple. Look, at the end of the day, shit happens. You know what I mean? Shit happens. Let's see. So I did some research. Let's pivot for a second. Let's get back to Kiana Davis really quick. Do you guys think they're going to bring back the case? Hold on. Are they gonna try to bring it this time? And is Kiana's lawyer going to be able to make it back? Remember, it was kind of like, well, damn, Kiana, like her lawyer kind of surprised me. I mean, even though there were times where it was like, sir, relax. Sir. Mm. All right, let's see. Mistrial rocks mom's child. Okay, let's see. Girl, look at the judge's face. I don't know which one to play. Let me put this in a queue. Okay. I hated that I missed this on Friday, but it was beyond my control. Let's see. Why is what is going on here? Why is she's got to know that when she makes that face like
All right, and the answer to my first question, the answer is no. Do you believe further deliberation? So then I asked for the current count.
were you guys keeping up with this on Friday or you guys totally skipped it? Let me just go and find it. We'll just skim through. That's what I had kind of planned to do. Day 4. Okay, let's see what happened. So they went in, they started deliberating. Let's see. So they went in, they started deliberating. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so maybe this is like the first. We're just going to skim through. She was PO'd. Let me go get my water real quick.
Okay.
All right, give me a second. Let me go get my water. Okay. Sorry, guys. So I did some research. I pulled the criminal complaint for her and for Kiana and Mr. Benton. We don't have to go through it tonight. I don't even know if I have the energy to do it tonight, but we can definitely go through it. I'll publish it for you guys because it's got a whole timeline and everything. I feel like it was like 19. It was either 19 or 29 pages. It was extensive. It was a lot of information. Let's see. Let's see how this goes.
It's number 4. No. 5. 5, please. Go.
What was the fourth? They said this is the fourth note or the fifth note.
There were 2 questions on one note. Right. This is number 4. Okay. All right. This says, can the jury review the
So she says this is the fourth note because the first note was something about tell us about. They wanted the law read back to them, if I remember correctly. They wanted the law read to them. Then they said that there was somebody who would not deliberate, who was firm in her opinion. And then there was the person who stated that she was being harassed. That was note number 3. And then this is note number 4.
cam video at the apartment. Yes. Jury review the dash cam video at the apartment. Yes. So, Mr. Dwayne, get that queued up for me. I will note that this note is not from the person who was identified as the 4-person initially. I don't know that it matters particularly, but I think that I'm going to advise them to, that the 4-person needs to communicate each juror's request to me going forward. Does anybody have any objection to that? I think that's just proper. So I'm just gonna say we will get that set up.
Maybe somebody else will take it over.
Maybe this, you know.
Some people need to know your strengths and weaknesses, and everybody always wants to be a manager, but when it's time to manage a process, they realize like oh, I have to be the bad guy here, or I have to be responsible, or I have no fucking organizational skills whatsoever. I don't know how to talk to people. I'm not a good negotiator. I'm actually not impartial, all of those things. So maybe it was six of one, half a dozen of another. Do you guys think that it was the foreman? Because that's interesting that the foreman did not send this note. Isn't that interesting? I believe it was. Oh, I don't know if you guys are talking to me or not. What county is this? It is not Fulton County. This is Houston County. This is Georgia, but it's not. It is not Fulton County. This is Houston County.
So,
Houston, spelled like Houston. Houston. Okay.
I just wrote, we'll get that set up. Communication should be from the foreperson. The foreperson should communicate the rest of should communicate requests with the other jurors as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, I don't think it's significant particularly, but it is.
Now, I can't recall a time where I've ever seen the foreperson get fired. That's hilarious. Not saying that they got fired. I've never seen like a switch of foreperson. That's funny. Okay. Oh, they said that it was Houston County. I guess the city is called Warner Robins, but it's in wasn't it in Houston? Am I wrong?
Not easily. Take that note back
Hold on.
to them and tell them we're getting the video set up. We'll pull them out in just a minute to watch it. Yeah, they don't need to come in. This is the one with the less than stellar sound.
Yeah, this is actually Houston County Superior Court. Maybe it's near Macon, but it's Houston.
Right,
Been
so,
out on team for waiting for a while to get up here
and we also forwarded, we skipped some, you have the notes. Okay, so for the record, this is
Okay.
body cam video of Officer Wichita. When it was played for the jury during the trial, the parties consented to skipping some sections. We're going to only play what they saw during the trial initially. I think there's a fair amount of dead time in the video. And so Ms. Holland will make sure that we do that and note that in the same way. Let me check this. There's wind, which is being picked up by the officer's body mic. So the sound is not great. So if you will play a few minutes and let's make sure we've got it as good as we can get it before we bring them in.
Judge, could we also caution the jurors that even though they're seeing this a second time, to not.
Right, they consider all the evidence.
Right.
Yeah.
The sound is horrible. The sound is absolutely horrendous.
I was the person there. I was there with them. Yeah. Well, I was there with
All right, that's just as good as it's gonna get. All right, you bring jury in.
Okay, we're going to skip ahead. I just wanted to see if there were questions, but if you didn't see this, you just go back to the original, to that day. This might have been like day 2. This is probably day 2, day 3, something like that. Probably day 2. But that's Miss Kiana and her boyfriend right there. Mr. Benton is on trial, I think in November is his trial date. He's on the hook also. And I don't know, for him, he might be very disappointed because, I mean, I don't know how they're going to see this as a positive that it was a hung jury or that they're coming for him. I don't know how they're going to see this, but I would imagine that the prosecutor, if they're going full blast on prosecuting this case, they're going to go for Mr. Benton hard. If they haven't already prosecuted Kianna. So hopefully somebody is going to coach Kianna on her attitude and to not allow herself to be triggered by the prosecutor again, because next time it might not go well for her. She got an opportunity this time. I don't know. And the prosecutor, hopefully this next time he can bring a little bit more to the case. I don't know. I still felt like he didn't bring everything that people needed to know. But once they explained the law and applying it to this particular case, it seemed to make a little bit more sense on how they could. I just didn't feel like they brought enough evidence. So I don't know. That's just what I thought. Okay, let's.
I just want to let you know,
I think that's going to be it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I got your note about foreperson, and you may resume your deliberations. Thank you. Just a second. As they were coming in, they sent me a note, they had changed foreperson. And it's signed by both the former and the new, so that is clear. All right. Let me see you counsel up here.
Okay. I thought I had it like right on the nose.
Y'all may say it. The jury has sent out a note that they are deadlocked. They did not include a count. I am inclined, obviously I'm going to Allen charge them. I am inclined to ask him without which way, but just ask him for a count. Because I think
This is what I think that they focused so much on her not taking Carter to the doctor that they needed to focus on trying to figure out or come up with a scenario on how Carter got his liver lacerated. I guess they don't want to hone in on anything too much because if you've got the theory wrong, then they probably may feel like they would throw out everything. You know what I'm saying? But some kind of way, there had to be some sort of abuse happening for this child to be injured in such a manner. But I feel like most parents who are perfectly able to, we don't want to get it started where every time your kid has a sniffle, you got to run them to the doctor. Some of us are very competent at caring for our children and being able to treat minor illnesses and minor things at home, not because you don't want to take your kid to the doctor, but because you're able. You know what I'm saying? Like you're able. Um, it should not come to a point where that you're going to establish that we must have third parties involved every time you turn around. So that may have been a rub for some of the people. I feel like he just emphasized so much that she was supposed to be running this kid back and forth to the doctor. And he had a medical record of going to the doctor pretty frequently. So it was kind of hard to make it seem like she was a neglectful mother when, she went to work every day, she's paying bills, she's has custody of her son. Not to say that she was perfect because she definitely, we none of us are perfect, right? But he emphasized so much that point, but that point didn't really bring home the lacerated liver. One can assume that something else was going on. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Boom. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. To my friend who dropped me off some coins. Thank you, B More. I appreciate it. Body language in this shot speaks volumes to me. Arms folded. Yeah, she which one? Are you talking about the judge? Hold on.
Matters is asking. I'm inclined to ask him without which way, but just ask him for a count. Because I think it matters if they're 6'6" or 3'9", or what have you. Or I can just read out and charge him, we can wait on that.
If we are to inquire as to the count, I think we should also inquire in the count, meaning what the vote is between the 12 as to if it's specific to a count, if they have reached a verdict on any count.
I agree. Are they deadlocked on all 7 counts? And if so, without telling me which way, what is the count? Are we comfortable with that?
Yeah, what is the vote for count?
What is the, yes.
And Judge, I'm okay with that. We did that with Judge.
Right. Is there a verdict on anything?
I think I had Judge Adams, and it's the first time that, because the foreperson of the jury volunteered what the count was.
Right. And sometimes they do and sometimes they don't.
And I don't have a problem.
And it is certainly improper for me to inquire which way. I just am interested because I think in evaluating how much longer I ask them to deliberate, that is relevant information for us to consider, and however y'all want to proceed. So,
It's like you can't see her. She's so tiny, or he's so large. You cannot see if she's standing up or not. I don't know if today's the day she decides to stand up or not.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Okay, well, she stayed sitting down.
you've now been deliberating on this case for a period of time, and I think it's proper, based on your notes to me, to advise you further in regard to the desirability of an agreement, if possible. The case has been exhaustively tried by both sides. It's been submitted to you for decision and verdict, if possible, and not for disagreement. It's the law that a unanimous verdict is required. And while this verdict must be the conclusion of each juror and not a mere acquiescence of the jurors in order to reach an agreement, it is nevertheless necessary for all jurors to examine the issues and questions submitted to them with candor and fairness and with a proper regard for and deference to the opinions of each other. A proper regard for the judgment of others will greatly aid us in forming our own judgment. Each juror should listen to the arguments of the other jurors with a disposition to be convinced by them. If the members of the jury differ in their view of the evidence, the difference of opinion should cause all of them to scrutinize the evidence more carefully and re-examine the grounds for their opinions. Your duty is to decide the issues submitted to you if you can conscientiously do so. In conferring, you should lay aside all mere pride of opinion and bear in mind that the jury room is no place for taking up one side or the other of a cause or maintaining a spirit of controversy either side of the cause. You should bear in mind at all times that as jurors, you should not be advocates for either side. You should keep in mind the truth as it appears from the evidence examined in light of the instructions of the court. I'm going to ask you to retire to the jury room for a reasonable time, examine your differences in a spirit of fairness and candor, and try to arrive at a verdict. I will also tell you that if you have a verdict on some counts and not other counts, if you will notify the court of that. All right? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll ask you to step back to the jury room. If you need a break, you may ask for one, just let the bailiff know, but please remember not to talk about the case unless all 12 of you are in the room, okay?
Girl, look. So this is at 3 hours and 13 minutes. And like about 30 minutes later, these people really must hate each other. They don't like each other. They don't even want to be in the room with each other. Okay.
Client right out there.
Yes, ma'am.
Is your I'm gonna do it on the lunch? I don't know that it's I'm gonna do it on the record.
Oh, she's bringing them back in for lunch. Okay, let's see. The foreperson handed the bailiff a note on the way out the door for lunch. This is, I think this is 8 because the lunch was 7, I think. No, it's 8 and 9, I think. I don't know. They want to watch the video from the 18th. This was the interview. I'm not sure. Is he still out there?
Who? The
The
foreman?
Foreman. because it says this was the interview question mark, and I don't know if he's wanting to say first or last or some other descriptive. And I want to make sure I know what he wants. If he's still out there, ask him to step in here, because it goes on to say we would prefer to have this ready once we come home from lunch. So I want to have it queued up.
Okay, so at this moment, they're asking for a video. They went to go eat. They come back. They've got the video teed up.
He was taking me to drill all day Saturday, every 6 hours, all day Sunday, every 6 hours. And then on Sunday, I cooked dinner.
So they're walking through the events of the day. They come back, and then, so they finish watching that. She's retiring from the bench. They come back, and let's see how this is going to end.
Y'all be seated. All right. All right. We have another question from the jury. It is two parts. Can we take a break?
Can we take another break?
Hang on a second. We're having court reporter difficulties, so we'll make sure the record's clear.
She said if you need to take, didn't she tell them if you need to take a break, let the bailiff know? Don't you hate when you tell people, like you give people an instruction they don't follow? She said if you need to take a break, you can do so. Just let the bailiff know. Did she not say that? So they sent a note, a 2-part note that says, can we take a break?
We have questions from the jurors. Can we take a break? Of course. And then there's a second question. Have a juror with a medical issue. How do we proceed? I am inclined to inquire whether they believe further deliberations will be fruitful before we try to figure out what to do about the other stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you both agree?
That's fine, Judge.
Okay. Mr.
I agree with it.
Okay.
Is Kiana over there praying? Girl, thank you for giving us a good shot. Girl, let me get my screenshot.
there's a jury. Break, please. Tell them 15 minutes. And hold on a second. They want to, there's a juror with a medical issue that I need to address. So yeah, the juror in person, the rest of them take a break.
You want them all to stay back there?
No, I want you to take them that note.
Right.
The juror with the medical issue needs to wait in the jury room, the rest of them can go. That note tells them that.
Did they respond to your question?
Yes, I'm sorry. They said that possibly on count 7, not on arrest, but.
Right.
I should have read it out loud. I'm sorry. I was thinking about the medical issue. I want to make sure that's not emergent. I did not think that it was, but they're real need of break is the way that was communicated to me. So I won't let them do that. Mr. Ball, bring that last note back to me, please.
I'm sorry, I'll get it back.
Will you go to the room and take a break? And so bring that note and note what the medical issue is.
Damn, they took the whole day to play.
Making progress. That is where we are. So you're still 7 last time was, and count 7 last time was an 11-1 count. So you're still, when we talk about are we making progress, that is where we are on that last count. I think it's necessary to hear from the other juror before we make a decision. Probably. Mr. Williams, there's something else you want to add?
I'm looking at
I'm interested in what the response is from the juror.
I wonder what count 7 was.
Will you please step in there and ask her to just say the judge wants to know if you are able to continue. Well, never mind. Okay, let her take a break. Or him, whichever, that juror, I don't know. Counsel, if y'all step up, I don't see any need.
Girl, she got her pen out again. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have been PO'd if I would have watched this all day long. Not because it was a mistrial, but baby, all day for a hung jury. And I get it. You know what I mean? I'm sure it could be days and days of some trials for a hung jury, but whew, I'm glad I'm speeding through it now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm grateful.
This is my proposed note. Do you believe further deliberations are likely to result in a unanimous verdict on all counts, some, or one count? Can you share the current count without telling me which way, just numbers? And I'll put as to each offense so that we have some idea of what we're dealing with. Because obviously we want a verdict if we can get one, but they have now essentially been out a significant time considering the time it took to present the evidence. And so before we ask them to come back on Monday, I need to make sure that we have done everything. Or before we send them home without a verdict, I need to make sure. So we want to make sure we're doing all the things.
And once again, we would stand by our motion.
All right. That's fine.
One, two. So I guess 1 was malice murder, 2 felony murder, 3 cruelty to children, deprivation first degree. Is that number 3? Another count of felony murder, assault, aggravated assault, malice murder, and then cruelty to children. So they said they had maybe 11 to 1. So, but they didn't say what direction it went. But that count 7 is probably the cruelty to children, is the order of the charges on this document I'm looking at right now. Hold on a second. Let me show you guys. So it's probably the cruelty to children. That's the only thing that they had potentially a verdict, 11 to 1, but they didn't say which way it was going. So that doesn't necessarily tell us anything. Okay, but what we do know is that it's going to end up being a deadlock. So just watch. What's her reaction like? Okay, thank you. Did she blow them kisses? Yeah, the state didn't bring, they didn't. Look, at the end of the day, when we were all like, I know we know the Carter is dead. So we know something horrible happened to this young guy. He should be alive by all accounts, right? So that's what we know. Something horrible happened to him, and the condition of his body would say that somebody did something horrible to him. But we can't just send the mom to jail without having, because you know what's going to happen. She'll end up in prison. She'll end up appealing, and she'll go home. You know what I mean? It's better to have something stick rather than and get it done right, rather than unraveling through appellate court and no justice for Carter. You know what I mean? Girl, I think I don't know what if she's just straight meditating, she's praying. Girl, the judge. Hold on, let me get a picture of her for my thumbnail.
All right, and the answer to my first question, the answer is no. Do you believe further deliberation? So then I asked for the current count. I think what they've done is give me the count on, now, I don't know what they've done. They've given me numbers, that don't add up to 12 onto the counts.
Good job selecting a jury.
So I'm going to inquire further.
They can't add the numbers up to 12. We got 7 and 8. I mean 5 and 9. It's 9 to 5.
So I just said on these counts, do you have a verdict or what is the math?
He's responding.
Okay. No, I've not seen that. Okay, they have sent this note that the bailiff just handed me says jurors have stated we will have the same result on Monday. No further deliberations are needed. So based on that, I'm going to declare a mistrial and excuse this jury. If you will get the alternates and let me bring them in and just give them some final instructions, and we'll release them. I don't know what the release is.
I didn't see her reaction.
No further deliberations are needed. So based on that, I'm going to declare a mistrial and excuse this jury. If you will get the alternate.
Girl, put your head up. What you got your head down for?
And let me bring them.
They could be putting handcuffs on you and taking you to the back right now. What are you, girl? You better put your head up.
And just give them some final instructions, and we'll release them. I don't know what the release is. 13.
And figure out some type of way for you to explain, sis, what happened to your son? Did you let that man beat on your son? Were you beating on your son? Because he's got a trial in November, and he might drop a dime on you. If it was you beating Carter, baby, you getting ready to go down. Because next time, sir is going to come for you. Okay? This next time, he might let Miss Ma'am over here argue the case. Is she gonna sit up there and cry, girl? I'm mad at these chairs now. I'm not gonna lie to you. These chairs with these high backs where we can't see what we need to see. The fuck? Come on now. Who bought these chairs? We need to be able to read lips. Miss Piggy, thank you. Let me see. I don't think my thing is caught up. Jay Jammin, thank you. Wait, hold on, let me see. My monitor is not caught up. Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we've discussed, a verdict in a criminal case needs to be unanimous. As you are unable to reach one, I'm going to declare a mistrial in this case.
Like,
and
okay.
you will complete your service for the week. You can leave your buttons behind, leave your notepads in your chairs. You just tear those up and shred them. Nobody's going to read your notes or what have you. The clerk will have a check for you that will have a stub that will prove you were here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for your employer. If you need something additional, you can contact the clerk's office or my office, and we'll let you do that. I told you about 50 times not to talk about the case or let anybody talk about it with you. At this point, you may talk about the case if you wish. You're not required to, but often the attorneys may want to know what you found persuasive or didn't find persuasive or what have you. So I always let you know that it is not improper anymore for you to talk to whoever you want to about this case and your service on it. You are, of course, in no way required to do so. Make sure you get all your personal items. Leave me my buttons so I can recycle them for the next group. And Mr. Davis will show you out. Mr. Bob will show you out the back door. Okay? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Just leave them in the seat?
Yeah, that's fine. We'll pick them up. Other one,
November sometime.
we set a, all right, did we set a?
So let me tell you this. So I was doing some research on the case. And initially, Kiana and Mr. Benton, I can't think of his name right now, but her boyfriend, what was his name? Girl, it was with a K. It's like her baby daddy's with a K, she's with a K, and the boyfriend's with a K. They were together. They were being tried together, and they asked for it to be severed so that they could have their own separate trials, and that's what they did. So if you were wondering why are they not being tried together, he specifically asked for his trial to be severed from hers. Okay. So if you were wondering why, it was based on his request. Keon, thank you.
Date and the other one,
November sometime.
so that's gonna be my first available for a retrial. The state will need to decide whether you want to retry this one on those dates or, try the charge co-defendant. If you're going to retry the matter, just be thinking about that so we can get scheduled this
So do you want to bump Keon? Basically, what I'm hearing her say is, do you want to bump Keon and let Kiana take that time slot? Or we'll proceed with Keon. They might need to, this is my thought, they might need to prosecute Keon first to see how that goes. Because there's too many variables, and I think people have questions about the boyfriend. So either you find out that he's guilty or find out that he's innocent and to proceed from there versus not knowing, because the mother, there's a difference between the mother and mom's boyfriend. There's no smoking gun that mom's boyfriend beat this child, and we just don't know what happened. They don't know it, and you don't always have to know what happened. If you hadn't been watching this case, it was only 3 days. It was really 2.5 days. I highly recommend it. I did make a playlist for it, but too many unanswered questions for me. I felt like I didn't, but something obviously happened. There's a very young child that died for no valid reason. He suffered from asthma, but he did not die of an asthma attack, any kind of lung associated issue. He ended up with a perforated liver, and it appears that he had sustained some sort of blunt force trauma, but they were unable to pinpoint. There was no history of abuse, noted history of abuse or anything. She cared for the child. The child had an established relationship with the doctor's office and went to the doctor's office frequently. One of the arguments was trying to make her neglectful in her or derelict in her responsibilities as a mother, which, because she went to work, or she chose to go to work versus stay home. She left the child with the boyfriend, which that was questionable to me. She made some mistakes, but just wasn't enough to know what happened. So anyway, it was an interesting case, and it's going to be interesting when it comes back. So I think that's kind of it, but let's see if they say anything else. So they're talking about November, and they're giving the option. So it's possible Keon could get pushed back, or they're going to go.
It's the oldest case on my docket, so I'm going to push him to get it retried again, okay?
Will you issue an
All right.
order on the mistrial? Will you issue an order on the
I
mistrial?
will, and I'll do that before I leave. All right, let's stand in recess. Okay, and y'all, Miss Montgomery is deserting me, so if you need a transcript, tell her now.
All right.
Okay. Look, whatever our feedback is on Kiana. It worked. It worked. Her nonchalantness, her lack of fucks, it worked for her. You know, I thought it would be to her detriment. But either she had one person on her side or she had the bulk of the people on her side. I don't know which one she actually had, but whatever she had, it worked for her because baby, um, she's living to see another trial and she's still out. Yeah.
Make sure she gets up to the court, okay?
She's cool as a cucumber. Passion Mhoon got 25 years. She sure did. And we're on the medallion, guys. Okay. Case closed. Okay, mistrial. Okay, we had to close the book on that one. Interesting, very, very interesting. That was good. Sorry I was not here for you guys on Friday, but I was here in spirit. So thank you for all the gifts, guys. You guys are so sweet. Thank you for dropping me all the coins and gems and all the things. Very, very sweet. What is tomorrow? Wednesday. Hopefully we can be on some sort of a regular schedule tomorrow. So I will see you guys, and I feel like we're caught up on some of the open-ended items. Some of the things I needed to tell you guys, if you guys are in members, and you already knew that Shawn Hoover's motion was denied. So let's just recap real quick. Shawn Hoover, motion to continue, denied. Okay, boom. Kelli Marie Bryant pled no contest. Sentencing in September. Looking at potentially 6 years with the plea deal. Okay. Passion Mhoon, baby, 25 years. She was adjudicated guilty last month by a jury. She took it to the box and the box said guilty. Okay. And the judge on Thursday said 25 years to be served. And it's 50%. It's served at 50%. But so it's basically 12 and a half to 25 years. So it's not an automatic 25 and the doors spring open. If there's issues, non-compliance, bad behavior, things of that nature, she could end up, but she'll be eligible for to get out in 12 and a half years. So this is the woman who scammed the pallet company out of $1.9 million. And last but not least, Miss Ma'am, mistrial. Okay. Mistrial in the murder, felony murder, cruelty to children, all of the things, trial. And she's going to live to see another trial. So we'll see if they bring her back to trial. Me personally, I would try the boyfriend first. I don't know. See what they can get out of him. He might be found guilty too. I think if they find him, he might be found innocent or not guilty or deadlocked again. And if they deadlock on him, they might have to throw this case out. I don't know. But it's the lacerated liver, right? You can't, it's almost like you can forget, but then it's like, but the lacerated liver, how would he have gotten that? Something happened to this child. We just don't know what. Anyway, I'm glad it's not my job to figure it out, but definitely it's my job to listen. So I'll be here next time. I'm sure this one will come back across there. our timeline. This was a good one. The other good one was that Ryan Cooper. I don't think that they televised the whole thing. I think they did the closing. They did the opening statements and the closing arguments. If you guys want to see that, I don't. He has not been sentenced yet, but I think he's going to end up with life without parole because he was found guilty of murder for leukemia tumor. So anyway, oh, Lindsay Clancy, the nurse that I told you guys about a couple weeks ago. We've been talking about her here and there, bit by bit. The nurse who was suffering from severe postpartum depression. That's what she, that's what they say. She killed her 3 kids. Terrible situation. And then she harmed herself and jumped out a window. And now she's paralyzed. So every time she comes into court, she's in a wheelchair. Do you guys see how the monitor is? Are you guys here? Let me just make sure. Are we still? Let me see. So we are live. I'm assuming. Okay. Okay. My monitor is not moving if you guys see this, right? Okay. It stopped right here at, let me stop it and then bring it back and see if that does something. Okay. Maybe that got it going again. I'm not sure. Okay. Thank you, Integrity Matters. Thank you, Boo Boo. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm going to let you guys go. We'll pick this back up. Okay. I see you guys. My bad. I didn't know. Because it just if you can see the chat on the screen wasn't moving, so that was weird. But anyway. All right, you guys. I'm getting tired. I hope that you guys have a good evening. I don't want to hold y'all anymore. Make sure to hit the thumbs up for me. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and members will get into it maybe in a little bit, or I'll see you guys in the morning. I might just see you guys in the morning and we'll get caught up. Okay, guys. All right, you guys. Oh, this is what I was talking about. I forgot for a second. I was like, what was I talking about? Lindsay Clancy, the nurse, the woman who was suffering from severe postpartum, all the things. They started jury selection yesterday into today. I'm not sure if they seated the jury yet. We probably will watch the opening statements, but I can't guarantee that I can broadcast the complete trial. But if they get started this week, we probably will do opening statements and you guys will be on your own. I'll be watching, but I don't know that I'm going to be broadcasting. I feel like maybe we'll be doing recaps. I don't know how long this trial is going to go, and I don't want to commit to potentially 2 weeks. I feel like this trial is going to be longer than what we're typically used to, like a week, 2 weeks kind of thing, because I'm sure they're going to have a lot of experts, lots of psychiatrists and mental health professionals. I feel like her defense will be pretty optimistic about her defense, considering what happened with that woman, Precious, the lady who got acquitted in Florida, who was suffering from postpartum. Well, not even postpartum. I think they said it was like some effects of COVID. If you recall, we talked about that like a week ago. And so there was a case recently with a woman who killed her kid, and they said that she was suffering from some effects. Hey, Colin in the building. Hey, Boo Boo. Thank you so much for making it official. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. So yeah, her trial is actually starting. So I'll do some research tonight and see how far they got. If they're starting with opening statements, we may get into it. I just don't know if I'm going to broadcast like gavel to gavel coverage on that. I think it's going to be interesting and I would love to, but based on what we've got going on next week, I know I can't commit to doing it, but I'll probably be keeping up and watching, and we probably will do we'll do recaps So last thing, David was in court today, and I have to read up. I have the LA Times queued up with the recap from today. So we'll talk about David tomorrow and what the LA Times and the LA coverage is saying, because there's reporters in the courtroom, but it's not being televised because for obvious reasons, I guess. Well, and also the judge stated that early on that it would not be. So, okay. All right, you guys. Thank you for coming through, sis. I appreciate you again making it official. Thank you for supporting the channel. All of you guys, thanks for supporting the channel. Make sure to hit the thumbs up for me as you exit. Have a good night, you guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Take care, y'all.